Sniatkowski, one of our Councilman, I guess the process probably started about a year ago, more or less, when three of Verona's fantastic civic groups got together and decided that they wanted to do a community project, and this lot was identified as a piece of town property that was really underutilized and just sort of sitting around, and quite frankly, it was just being used as a dumping ground. So the Environmental Commission, the Junior Women's Club, and the Historical Society got together and donated $4,000 to support the project. So literally no town funds were really expended on this. So the plaque that's right here, giving a little historical background on what was on the site before. The beautiful nature preserve sign designated as a historic site. We've had Verona students come here, students from Montclair State University. I think the members of the Hilltop Conservancy got involved as well. We then got Chuck Molinaro and his crew involved. So this was truly a community effort. That this is not totally finished. We're going to wait till the spring, I think, to do some additional plantings. Bob Dickinson on the Shade Tree Commission made the rounds, and they'll collaborate again in the spring, and we'll put some more greenery in. You know who you are, and you have the thanks of the mayor and the town council and the rest of the community. And with that, I'd like to call Bob Williams up, our Verona historian, to give a little background as to the significance of the site.
Verona was established back in the 18th century by a group of French Huguenot, Scots-Irish, Welsh, German, and Dutch settlers. On this very property here, a family that was of French Huguenot extraction had established their homestead, not too far behind me, maybe about 300 yards. And that was the homestead of the Personette family. And the Personette family had lived on this property and farmed this property for well over 100 years. Having come to Verona in the mid-18th century and living here all the way up into the turn of the 20th century. Dr. Stephen Personette was our second community doctor. He lived in this beautiful white house, and he had served Verona from the time that Dr. Christian Bone had died in the 1840s all the way up to his retirement in 1873. When Dr. Whitehorn was called to Verona to serve as the third village doctor. Dr. Whitehorn was quite a colorful figure in his own right, having served in the Civil War. Some of the information about him is on this signboard. His family were, his father was a professor at a southern university during the Civil War, and since they were northern sympathizers, they needed to be smuggled from the south through the blockade to the north. After the war, he went to Albany Medical School, and as I mentioned, he came to Verona in 1873. This isn't where he first lived, but he had this beautiful house built right over here in about 1892, 1893. And Dr. Whitehorn was this most beloved figure because he was always there in people's times of need. So well beloved that they named the high school after him, which of course today is the middle school. You have the ruins of his house, the foundation in the back here. You have in the back Dr. Whitehorn's lily pond, which is over in this area here. The Personette family had a stand of cedar trees on this property, we believe somewhere back in this area back here. And it was known as Personette's Grove. Personette's Grove in the early to mid and third quarter of the 19th century became a very, very revered and favorite place for people to come and recreate. There were picnics that were held here, there were orations, temperance meetings, religious revival services, 4th of July celebrations were all held back in here throughout the 19th century. This was a very, very important spot in Verona. I'm very honored to be here today for the wonderful job that these people did and the vision that they had to take this and to make this our first really significant, well, I'll say our second because we have the White Rock, a significant historical link to our past in this community. Now hopefully this will be a spot where people can come 50, 75, 100, 200 years from now and still appreciate the importance and the link that this property provides to our heritage. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on, you know, get in the picture.
That thing, I think I can.
Jessica? No, I know. I'm not. That's, believe me, I'm looking. You guys did. You got a few extras there. Okay. All right, is everybody in? There we go. All right, big. There. Lots of pressure here. Have a great weekend. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you.